How's it going, guys? Matt here with another Rust video. I'm kind of mid-wipe, but I haven't really recorded any this wipe. But I wanted to show something super interesting, which you're probably seeing on the screen right now. Something I discovered this wipe that was, well, I'll start from the beginning. I'll give you a quick little story. So basically, we claimed a cave, took over the cave, and found out we couldn't wire power to it. We just can't quite reach the boundaries with any wire. We tried a lot of techniques, couldn't get it to work. Doesn't seem possible. So with that being out, you know me, I like to do industrial stuff. And how am I going to do industrial stuff with pretty much zero power? I'm going to explain that. Zero power passively. Obviously, you need a little power here and there, but really all you need is a trickle to do all this. So I'm going to explain my systems and explain this cave. This cave is also stability bunkered, so it's about 35 rockets approximately to raid this cave, assuming all my teammates and I close the doors properly. But that's the quick gist of it. Now, how does this work? And I'll give you a little base walkthrough while we're at it. You can see all these boxes are wired up naturally. But as you might know, if I turn on all these conveyors, it's going to use 6 watts. And that's going to drain these little small batteries pretty quickly. You do see a generator there. I'll explain that shortly. And a bunch of small batteries. Now, I did learn something very new that I'm going to expose very early in this video, because I think it's super critical and important and is going to change your life. These industrial crafters don't use any power if you wire it directly to a small battery. Like this small rechargeable I'm looking at right here has been at 9 watts for like 4 days straight. It is wired directly to this industrial crafter, and this industrial crafter is currently on. As you can see, I can turn it off because it's on. So it's been using no power because it's directly wired. So I guess the thing to do, and I didn't know this till this wipe, is you wire your industrial crafters right to a small battery, and you don't have to worry about finding another tap for them, because it's always kind of a pain since they only use 1 watt. So you can just small battery, wire directly, and it'll keep it powered indefinitely without actually using power. So naturally I got that industrial crafting going on. And this one's powered by this battery. So super cool thing to know is that you can just small battery these and not have to worry about tapping them in with the rest of your power. Game changing for me. I didn't realize that until this wipe. So super cool. That's one of the ways we get zero power bunker. As you can see, everything's off right now, so it's not using any power. This one little battery, this one small battery is the main power for all these conveyors. But we only turn them on when we need them. So this one, for example, fills the furnaces. You also want to wire on all of these the filter fail to turn off. So when you wire filter fail to turn off, when this fails to filter anything, it'll turn off, which is perfect for what we want it, because we want it to go back to zero power. If you just leave it on all day, it's going to drain 1 watt. We want it to be 0. So that's how you essentially do it. If you know industrial stuff really well, that's the gist of it. Now, there are some tricks to this that might not be obvious. For example, you generally have to set a limit unless it can max out on its own. Otherwise, it won't turn off if there's not a limit set on these items with this filter fail. Well, not as often as you think, at least. So you kind of got to set limits on your pullers a lot of times. Or, well, there's a little more to it than that, but that's the gist of it. If you're pulling, you want to set a limit. Otherwise, it's going to endlessly pull and use all your power. So, filter fail, going to turn off, pretty big. Now, what are these 6 sorters? I'll explain in a second. I'm not going to go into high detail because it's going to just get confusing. But here's the gist of it. Okay, I got one conveyor that just generally is a puller. This is piped to a box on the outside of this bunker, going up through that little gap right up there. So one puller pulls into all these large boxes, kind of randomly. It's just going to stuff things wherever. But the point of this is we can have one puller use 1 watt and do all the pulling, and so we can just turn it on, and when it fails to filter anymore, as in it's pulled everything, it'll just turn off. So it barely uses any power to suck things into this bunker. And we're getting to the fun part here. This system here, it's kind of an auxiliary system. Basically, this is all the outs, or all these boxes have a second adapter with an output going to these combiners and these splitters and then these filters. So it's going to pull from any and all of the boxes and fill the right ones. So these essentially just set up the boxes, because the initial puller is going to pull stuff in randomly. I can come back in here every once in a while, flick these on for just a moment, not too long. And while these are flicked on for a moment, they will kind of sort out these boxes, since they were randomly pulled in to begin with. I know that might be confusing if you don't know industrial stuff, but if you start to learn it, it'll make sense. But this uses 6 watts. That's the thing. That's going to drain the battery super quick. So we only want to turn this on for brief moments when we know the boxes are a mess. It's not a perfect system, but I didn't want these boxes to be pure chaos. As you can see, this is resources, and it's all resources and not just random stuff. And same with this one in a second resource box. And we got ammo here. And you see there's a few random things that get pushed around in here because this, we'll call it the sucker conveyor. It just puts things randomly wherever they can fit them, and then I'll sort them later. It doesn't really matter a whole lot where this stuff goes at some points, as long as it can find a slot. And between these boxes, it usually can. But that's about it. I guess I'll show these filters real quick, and you can pause and look at them if you want. But that's how I'm generally doing them. Not my perfect preferred setup, but I had to make do. I usually like to have a separate med box, for example, and maybe combine med and food, but I put it with the ammo this time because we're recycling most shotgun ammo at this point anyway. As you can see, there's basically no shotgun ammo in here because I go straight to the recycler and turned into rockets. And we got a little array of rockets there, not too bad. It's minimal rest. But we can turn on these. So these industrial crafters aren't going to pull in more resources to keep going unless we turn on these two. That one's for the explosives. This one's for the rockets. Oop. So, yeah, this battery is going to slowly drain. Active usage 2. So every once in a while, I'll spawn back in this bunker at my bag here. Just check out this generator. And pop in just a little bit of low grade. You put in a bunch, you're just going to waste it because the battery charges super quick. And boom. Now you can see we're very limited on space here. I would love to put more boxes, but I just literally don't have space. So what I'm going to try to do is try to find a spot for a large battery. I just dropped off a large battery somewhere here. Here it is. Fully charged. That charged at another base. So I would like to get a large battery back here, but there's not even room. I don't want to get into that too much. That's just kind of what I was currently working on when I decided to record. I'd like to be able to get this furnace back here. Perfect. And that way, off this large battery, we could maybe churn through some of this, because we got a lot that needs smelted clearly. And we've been going through wood like crazy, trying to get it sorted out. So, yeah, we got this to fill. We got this one will pull out of these as well. So it kind of works in multiple ways. As you can see, I got some combiners going to it. Those are drop boxes, and furnaces basically is what they go to. And the out on these industrial crafters also goes to this one. So this one's kind of a big multitask, 1 watt, do a lot kind of thing. That's a nice poetry there, huh? Alright, but I actually have another drop box I want to hook up, and I got one more slot here. I just need to figure out the tab. Or not drop box. Actually, I want this last one to be a grabber. So we got a slot here that we can use because this is hooked up to all the main boxes. Now the trick here is, how do I get it out of the bunker? I tap it like so, and then I gotta break the bunker. Let's go ahead and break the bunker. I'll show you the rest of the base. Sorry for the outside noise, if you hear it. Someone's mowing the lawn. I was supposed to flip this around to be soft-sided, but apparently I didn't do that, so it's going to take a moment to break this. Boom. Crumbles. There was a high wall floor there. naturally. The standard and stability bunker. I'll keep the sword in here. I guess I'll keep an extra rock in here too. Sure, why not? But now we can exit the bunker and we can finish our piping duties. And then we'll seal it back up. So what I want to do, yeah, you're seeing the rest of the base. These are all just filler boxes, whatever. All our bags for our 4 current teammates that play. Back here, we do have a little bit of resources, just some guns and stuff, you know, some anti-raid kits. We did get raided once, and they couldn't figure out what the heck was going on down here, so they didn't get much, which was very cool. We managed to win the counter. I guess while I'm going at it here, I'll explain some other systems. Well, this chain of doors goes outside, so you just keep going through doors there, just to make it real expensive. And we've got some lockers here, and this is kind of our to recycle box. We got the main drop box. So if you come back from a run, you got a bunch of expensive stuff, you put it in this box, and you hit this suck it button. And what this suck it button does is it turns on, I'll show you, the one conveyor that I was calling the sucker. And once it's all done pulling in everything, this one here, once it's all done pulling in everything, because of this filter fail wired to turn off, it will turn itself off and go back to 0 power. That's how we end up with a 0 power passively bunker. Yeah, pretty crazy, yeah. Yeah, so this has been a new challenge for me to try to use the least power possible in a base. And I think I'm going to wrap it up here, but I'd like to show you the last few things. There's a few, like, tricks that make it super easy, but there are kind of a few pitfalls here. The biggest pitfall is it's just been, without electric furnaces, it's been a real pain to keep up with our smelting needs, even with a little automation refilling it. Actually, that reminds me, I do need to wire a couple things while I got this open. So I'm going to make 2 more buttons here, and I'm going to show you another couple tricks here that make this a little handy. I got a wiring tool already. I'm making a couple buttons, and I think I'd like to make a sign while I'm at it too. Just a small sign to kind of let my teammates know what's going on, which I tend to like to do. Just try to keep them in the know so they understand how to operate the base. It's kind of important, actually, that everyone be educated on the systems. Alright, so I got those buttons. I'm going to stick with this duty for a second. I'm going to place a sign here. I'm going to place 2 buttons. Now, one of these buttons is going to fill the furnaces, and the other button is going to turn on the furnaces. Not lined up perfectly, so I'm just going to make a quick sign here. Boom. Let's make a line down the center. It's not letting me. What's going on here? I don't know. It's not letting me draw right now. I don't know why. Maybe something's broken. But anyways, I would just kind of, you know, point to these and say what they are. One would be like furnace on, and the other would say like, or fill furnace and turn furnace on. So for furnace on, you take the output of a button. These buttons put out 2 watts. And you run this to an igniter by your furnaces. This is an old system. A lot of you probably already know this one. But it's a way to turn on these furnaces without breaking open the bunker is the important thing. Because eventually these will run out of wood and turn off. Okay, and the other one, we want to run the turn on. Where is it at here? One of these. Sometimes it can be a little tricky to find it. I thought it was like right here. Let's try a different angle. Oh, there it is. Turn on. I'm going to run it through the floor just to keep it a little nicer because it's probably going to be a semi-permanent tap. If I'm just testing the stuff, I don't really care about how the wires are, but if it's probably going to be a permanent one, I usually try to make them a little nicer. So we'll wire this turn on that conveyor here. So this will fill the furnace. You wait a little bit and then you turn it on. So you can do that all externally now. So if you ran out of wood in the system, you can drop in wood, hit the suck in the wood, fill the furnace there, and then turn on the furnaces. And everything should turn off automatically when it all runs out. So hopefully that doesn't drain your battery. But if the furnace is going forever, this socket's going to keep pulling whatever the furnaces are making, and this one's going to keep filling the furnaces. So it will use 2 watts until you run out of stuff to smelt. But it is going to be making charcoal and sulfur and metal frags and whatever else. So that's all good. But just be aware that that's not going to turn off automatically, basically because it's never going to fail the filters since the furnaces are moving stuff. So this one's going to be moving stuff, that one's going to be moving stuff. The ticks will never fail since there's always stuff to move. So keep that in mind. So usually you either want to turn them off or, well, you can kind of come up with it if you think about it. All right, so the pullers. How do we pull? How do we work out here? We got a separate battery outside the bunker for these ones. Separate generator. Probably only use like 10 low grade in this ever. It's very rarely gets drained because of the filter fail trick. But we got stuff to make our gunpowder here. Might as well save charcoal and actually use these rather than put it on automation. And this is the puller. So the puller is also wired filter fail to turn off. It's hard to see, but so basically, I don't know, say you want an assault rifle. You put it in here, max of 1, turn this thing on. Now it's going to go to the top 1 here, and we should see an assault rifle come in on the first tick, and then once it's set, registers that one of them's in there. Oh, we don't have any in the system. They're probably on lockers, so let's find something else. I don't know, maybe a Thompson. We gotta have a Thompson in there. We do have AKs. They're just being used probably or on people. I'm pretty sure there's 1 or 2 in lockers and 1 up in our garage or so. I guess we're a little lighter on AKs than I realized though. So no way we don't have a Thompson. Okay, maybe we don't. Everybody loves Thompsons. MP5. Surely we got an MP5 back there. So we'll try the MP5. I just want to show this happening at least once. But if there's nothing there, it's just going to turn off and not pull anything. That's normal. Come on, there. Pulled an MP5 on the first tick. There it is. Very nice. And on the second tick, it'll determine there's nothing else to filter, so it'll just turn off. Tick. There it goes. Very good. Alright, so we'll take that off of there. Pull it in. So you got to kind of manage this carefully, but the point is here, you can keep the bunker sealed. You could still drop off everything with the little socket box, and you can still pull anything you want out of the bunker using this. You know, if you literally get anything. All right, so that's how you generally pull, and this only uses maybe 1 watt per time because the turn off method. All right, let's go back here. This is just a little hidden area we have in the cave. Kind of up above, a little kind of raid defense area. We got a tier 3 chilling in here. I love it, personally. Very obscure tier 3. And we got a second puller. It's exactly the same as the other one out there, but this is basically so someone can chill up here, craft, build, pull whatever they need, etc. No drop box up here yet, though. I don't know if we're going to do that or not, but it could be pretty easily wired through. It's just you can't press the button from up here. So maybe it's not a big deal. But there's an AK. There's some kits there. Yeah, kits are often in lockers. That's why I couldn't find a lot of the stuff. Thompson, LR, yeah, the usuals. So, but as you can see, this is piped to this thing, but it's not piped to the bunker. So I'm actually going to try that live here with you guys and kind of show you the trick. Now, I know that there's a tap over through that window, but I'm wondering if I can get beyond this wall in that little corner if there's a spot. So we're going to try it real quick. I'm going to tap here, go up to the ceiling, just try to get a nice straight shot against the wall here to where I could probably get that corner is basically the goal. Maybe we'll try here, and that should be able to hit that corner, but I can't obviously reach that corner from here. So I'm going to have to loop around, back through the base, back into the open bunker. You got to open the bunker to do this stuff. And let's see if we can get a tap. Hop on top of all this stuff. See if we can get a green tap anywhere here. It's looking like a no so far, but we'll try a little bit more. Right to the edge of this tier 3. Now, I will also say, because someone's going to be like, you could have done this or that better, I'm sure. This is very much an improvised base. I didn't plan on setting all this up. It just became our kind of very stable main base, since it was very hard to raid and we could store our goodies here without worrying too much. So I've just kind of built up these systems over the week to accommodate. And as you can see, there's no good taps here from where I was trying that. So we're going to try from this end. We'll take one of these because this is an output that's hooked up to all the stuff. And we'll just tap along these current pipes I already got because I know that's a good zone. And to do this, let's see, hopefully we've got the length here. We're going to have to go across the entire ceiling. Okay, so we got that tap there. And as you can see, we can get some green over here. That's good. That's what we want. Okay, and I think we got to go through this window, basically. So I'm going to try to get a green over here. Stand on top of these garage doors. Yeah, this is looking good. Get a tap here and in the window somewhere, maybe there. Okay, and then we'll go around to the other side. I'm going to jump up there. There we go. And get it right to here. Oh, I can directly tap it there. Now, that's going to be an ugly pipe, though, so we don't want to, probably want to run it along the ceiling a little bit, like so. If it's a permanent tap, like I said, I try to make it a little nicer. It's an initial test, whatever. But there we go. Now this one is also hooked up, and we can pull stuff into this middle locker I have it hooked up here. So you could say, oh boy, I don't know, I need a rocket launcher, or whatever you want. Literally anything, you know, resources, building stuff, whatever. Turn it on. Did I hook up the filter fail? No, I didn't yet. Let's hook up the filter fail to turn off. And so this should pull the rocket launcher, which it did, and the next tick it should turn off. And there it goes, and it's off. So it stops using power. Well, that rocket launcher powered off. Okay, so now we got a couple places to pull in the base. That's, you know, just for additional utility. I really wanted one up here by the tier 3, basically, was the big motive. We did have a tier 2 down below at some point, but I think it got destroyed when they blew up a few doors. Yeah, I really wish I recorded that raid defense. It was very interesting, and we ended up winning it naturally. But it was just some cave fights. Let me know if you'd like to see more stuff like that. I can try harder to get it recorded. I just popped on and wasn't thinking about it, but I think some people might be interested in that kind of content too. It was very fun. Got a few nice kills, blew up a camper, that kind of shenanigans. Alright, well, I think that's the majority of this base. I'll show you the reseal here super quick. Okay, I did place that electric furnace. I really just need to get this battery somewhere back here. I don't know where it's going to be possible exactly. Maybe you can squeeze it in there somehow. Yeah, real tight for space. Maybe I could squeeze it here if I move those two boxes. I'll try that right now, actually. Let's give it a shot. Let's see. I need a hammer, naturally. Don't have one back here. I know I got the wood to craft one, but this is like literally the last of the wood down here. I think. No, actually, I just dumped off a bunch. It's a bunch. But in any case, we've got plenty of hammers. I'm not going to craft one. So I'll take this little hammer here. And let's see what happens. These boxes aren't really being used for industrial stuff. So we'll see if we can get a battery here. How cool would it be if we can get a battery here? Oh, it'd be so good. I don't think we can, though. It's looking too angled, I think. But sometimes you can get lucky and kind of squeeze in nice stuff where you wouldn't really expect it. Maybe we can get it here somehow? No. So yeah, it's looking like a large battery is not going to go back here too well. I could put it somewhere else and then just wire it back here. Maybe even directly to that furnace. and maybe one conveyor to pull and push back in. Could manage something like that. Let's give that a shot. Because, this is kind of... We're late in the video, but what I want to say is, if you're watching now, you're really interested and you'd like to know how to do this stuff probably. So I'll go ahead and wire this up. Let's wire this as an auto smelter and see what we can do. I need another adapter. I guess I didn't really need to make them. I got some right there. And I'm going to need just one conveyor. I'm going to do this in a very minimal way, not in a way I fully recommend. So I think we can get, an additional adapter, the third adapter on this box. And we can at least auto smelt from this box and put it right back in. So we'll go take this out. Let's not do that yet. Let's put an adapter here first. We need a conveyor. Put a conveyor here. I'm going to have this like a completely separate system conveyor too. It's somewhat interesting. Let's see if I can get it real close to this just so it's obvious what it's for. Maybe right there is good enough. Let's try that. So what we want to do is we're going to take this output into the end of the furnace. We're going to take the out from the furnace into the box we want the ore to go into. Back up here. Stuck. Oh, I can't jump up so easily without those boxes that I picked up a moment ago. Let's place one back here. There. Now it should be able to get up there. There we go. All right. Then you want to take this out from the furnace. If I can get it. Get these pipes out of the way a little bit here. And we want to put it back into a box. This box will be fine. The only problem with this box is it's really full, which makes it so it won't actually work super great. Makes me rethink this a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and wire it up. We'll deal with the overflow problems later. So if we want to smelt from this box, we then take the out from the same adapter, because those other adapters have other shenanigans going on, and put it to the input of this. Yeah. This is too close. Okay, so we got a bug. Sometimes it bugs out and you got to redo it. So we'll redo it. If that happens, that's all you can do. Click a lot here to make sure we get some nice angles. There we go. Alright, so that's all hooked up now. It just needs power. So I think rather than use any of this current small battery power with the electric furnace, because it'll just drain super quick. Speaking of, it's down to 22 watts. Let's turn these off for a moment. Anyway, okay, let's get a large battery down. Gotta find a spot to put it. I think we might be able to get it somewhere real cheeky. It almost doesn't matter where, it just needs to be somewhere. I don't want to block our pathways, so I'm going to see if I can get it real cheeky up in here. Like maybe up in the cave. Anywhere would be good enough. Just anywhere I can place it up here that doesn't block our pathing. And it looks like it's not going to be so doable. It is what it is. Is there anywhere up here it's going to let me? Okay, it's going to let me like here, but that's so wonky. It's going to like block everything. Does it block it totally though? I'm going to place it just to see what happens. So I place this here. Hypothetically, a player comes up here, right? One of my teammates. They want to use the lockers. They can. They want to use that. They can. They want to get over here. They can. Okay, yeah, this is good enough. Sure, it looks janky, but... Alright, so this is one that's fully charged. We're not even gonna... We're just basically gonna drain this. Let's see what's the best way to tap. I think we're gonna go up. And wire this into the bunker. I'd prefer this battery be in the bunker, but there's just not space. So it's not gonna hurt anything being out here. It's just takes up our outside space. Yeah, I'm going to drop it from the ceiling like that, just for aesthetic purposes. Reduce the wires going through the base. And here we go. I didn't expect this to get to 30 minutes. Well, I'll probably cut it a little bit. But, you know, I think I gave the gist of it in the first few minutes. All right, so bring it down here. Bring it to the conveyor, power input. And we'll take the, let's see, pass through into the furnace. So now that's all powered. We turn this on, and it should start moving what it can into this furnace. Start using that 24,000 watts to power things and go. There it goes. It's starting to tick. Okay, so that should get our ores smelting nicely. A nice addition to the zero power bunker. Not technically zero power, but passively zero power. No power required, really. I just call it zero power for the memes or whatever. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I got to decide what I'm going to do from here. I think I'm going to leave a few of these systems off for a while. Maybe just put a little bit of low grade in this guy. Get this small battery charged up. It does not take much. Like this 5 is probably going to get it nearly full. Let's see. Yeah, it's already at 26 because those things pump out 40. It goes so quick. Maybe we could just turn on these crafters for a minute. Let them do their thing. Looks like we're needing something here. Let's see if it pulls it in. I dumped a lot of sulfur and frags into this just to make sure it didn't run out. But normally I only pull what's required. It's just we tend to tap the sulfur to 0 accidentally, and it stops making these. That happens. So we also got some other options here. I don't think I've shown. I want to show real quick. Mainly somewhere here I should have explode ammo. Oh, nice. It's actually using up some of this. So I think I'm going to take this scrap and maybe move it over to this other box. Oh, it won't even fit. We literally got so much. But the way that system is hooked up on the side is it's only going to smelt anything that's in this box specifically, just because it's set up so low like that. But that's fine. We can just kind of do a little self-management here and deal with it. Keep the ores in there. And I think we're good for now. A lot of crude there. That needs used up. A lot of diesel that needs used up. So that's a team thing we'll probably mess with later. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else to even say. I think I'm going to put the crude over in this box for now. If I turn on, like I said earlier, if I turn on all these, it'll sort the crude back where it's supposed to be, but, you know, don't necessarily just want it sorted. Okay, here's this explosive. Explosive shares a lot in common, pattern-wise with explosives. So if you ever want to switch this up and make a bunch of explosives, you can just switch this. Check out the explode ammo. Make sure you're pulling in what you need for it. Gunpowder, frag, sulfur. Yep, it at least pulls that. Gunpowder, frag, sulfur. So, yep, that should be good to also make explode ammo, and there it goes. And you can alternate them by going like so, and it'll make both of them. I think we have a lot of explode ammo. Yeah, we got like 2.5 stacks. So I'm not super worried about that. But just a thing you can do, I like to keep that nearby, maybe like right here, below the tier 3. Also nice to have meds, blueprint ready for the same thing. It uses a lot of these same patterns. I think all you do is you gotta swap like the sulfur for cloth for a moment or something. But you can kind of use the same crafters for a bunch of stuff is the point without making a lot of adjustments. Especially with meds, usually you do it one big pump of a bunch of meds, you know, make like a whole box of meds, and then you barely need to make them again for a long time. So I'm really going into a lot of detail. I hope you guys have enjoyed the detail. If you were curious about this kind of stuff and kind of wondered how I worked things up, he got a lot of insight there. And yeah, I'll be releasing this video right after this server wipes, because I don't want the whole server to potentially know the base layout and the tricks until it's too late or it's already wiped. But as far as I know, not many people on the server even know about me, which is, I kind of prefer to keep it that way for now. So stay chill, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed seeing this 35 rocket raid of a bunker that uses 0 power passively, and it's still got the industrial potential going on. Just last thing I'm going to show you, the way out. I just want to show you how many doors. We're going to do a count of the raid cost. Maybe we should have done this first. Okay, so we got front door. Oh, I'm going to grab that. Sure, why not? Right here, there's 3 rockets. We got armored door. There's 4 rockets, so that's 7 right there. We got another door, 3 more. There's 10. Another one, 11, 12, 13. And 14, 15, 16. So 16 rockets to get through the initial doors. And then they got to go through this door, pretty much. Because they're not going to go through armored, I don't think. And if they end up going up here, they'll just kind of use some more resources on that. Which will end up being a waste, as far as getting to the TC anyway. Okay, so we were at what? Did I say 16 or 17? I don't remember. I'll say 17, but I might be off by 1. So 17 plus another 3 for this one. 20. And then there's 2 more. Now, they could at this point go right through this armor and go from 20 and another 15 through this armor, and it'll be 35. So it's 35 if they go the smartest way possible, basically. If they end up going through these doors, adds another 3, adds another 3. So this could be upwards of 40 rockets to get in here. And obviously this gets sealed off, which I'm going to go ahead and do right now as I close out the video. We just need a little wood. We need 7 hike wall, which we got plenty of. I'm actually going to stash away some right here. I'm going to go ahead and turn off these crafters too. Let's cut the power to 0. 48 watts there. Okay. So yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and seal up the bunker. I might put a little more power into this small battery real quick. Probably just 10 low grade. Should get it about to full. And I'll stash some right here outside of the pooler region just to have some backup. And I like to do the same with a small battery. Just have one kind of there that's got a little charge just in case we really run out of power and I need to spawn back here and do some desperate measure kind of stuff. If that makes sense. But yep, we're pretty much done here. I just need a blueprint. Let's see if we got one in the system. Looks like a no. I'm just going to craft one real quick. Building plan. Okay, but there we go. That's looking pretty good there. Now we'll seal the bunker. Okay. Flip this around so it's easy to break from the other side. And we do want to break it. Place this. Armored. And there we go. About a 40 rocket raid, 35 to 40 rocket raid to get back there. So probably not worth it, being that there's only about 18 or so rockets back there right now and some C4. Could people do it? Sure. But they need a lot. Very secure. They usually don't bring that many, especially if they're just roaming and stuff. Alright, well, I'm going to dump some of this into the system here. But I'm going to leave some out too. Yeah. Anything else to show you? I guess I could show you the garage as a last thing. I'm going to put all my tools in this box here. And everything else can just go wherever, I guess, for now. It's fine. Don't really need that. I'll throw it in there anyway. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the garage. Got everything sealed here. Looking good. I do want to, just out of curiosity, I want to take a quick peek at how much this battery is drained in just a few minutes since it's been hooked up. Only a tiny bit. So that's gonna churn through a lot. I think we're gonna be good. I could set the filter fail on something to reduce the discharge. Actually, I probably should do that. I got multiple wiring tools. I didn't actually mean to put multiple wiring tools out here, so I'm going to throw a couple of these back in the bunker. Hit the suck it button. Turn all this on. And I'm going to F1 kill here. Make sure all the doors are closed before I get out of here. But yeah, what I was thinking is that electric furnace I just hooked up, I could run the filter fail to turn off the furnace and the filter pass to turn on the furnace, and then hook a button up to that. I don't know. I could develop a system where we could externally do it. It's going to be a little tricky. See a button to turn on the conveyor. The thing is switching out batteries and rewiring batteries. How to do that on the fly? I guess I could do it with some kind of splitter or combiner midway through that's always hooked up on the backside. Probably be a branch, but that uses an additional watt, so that's something to think about when we're going for low power. Let's check out the garage. I'll show you the garage. I've got a couple garages, but one up by this base in particular. Oh yeah, I need to make more bags out here actually. Need to get some cloth. But this is it. We got a furnace here. This is actually set up filter pass to turn it on, filter fail to turn it off. So we can smelt here indefinitely. It's solar panel powered. Here's our garage. It's Tombo chilling with an AK and no ammo. Drop box. TC. A little last check if you're flying the oil rig or something there. Yep. But yeah, we got a whole arrangement of gear here too. That's kind of overflow basically at this point. Well, we don't really know what to do with it. This airdrop should probably be down in the bunker, but oh well. And anything else? There's a little something up here. Just some little basics. We'll go outside. This is kind of a, this is a very improvised garage. We expect it to get broken into at some point. Actually need those. And our refinery, bunch of horses, etc. Usually we try to keep a mini in here as well in one of these bays. A mini and a couple cars. So that's why all that's going on. But what I think I'm going to do here is just do a little organizing. Extra parts. I got any metal frags? Let's check. Can we do somewhere? Here we go. So I'm just going to pop a garage door down here. Garage, yeah. In place of this door. As we want it to be kind of expensive to break in these. And this is the battery charging to swap out with the other one. It just charges with 3 solar panels. And yeah, I guess that's about it. But I don't know, cool thing to note, these counters, you can set them, you might find them in loot, you can set them to show pass through. And it's kind of in a weird spot here. But if you set them to show pass through, you can get a midway wiretap. And when power's running through it, it'll tell you how much, which can be nice to kind of get an understanding of how much it's charging for. Get this door placed here. I want it to be tucked in like that. Oh. Put a lock on there. And there we go. Very nice. And I'm just going to throw this other stuff somewhere. Some gears and metal there. And I got this extra door now. I guess I'll just throw it in the drop box. Okay, I'm not going to worry about this too much. While we're doing the tour, I'll finish it up by showing the other garage, which is up by Outpost. I think it's this one here. And this one might be rated, we'll see. No, looks like we're good. Amazing. Okay, so this is just a little outpost. Garage kind of loaded right now because we were raiding last we logged off and just dumped what we could. Probably will recycle all that. But quite a few large batteries, quite a few guns, quite a few ammo stuff. Definitely an easy ripe raid here, but it's a very obscure location. Just looks like a plain old garage. But yeah, this is all recent raid loot, I believe. And oh my goodness, I just need to drive this down to the other base. At this point, it's loaded. And there's another room. Normally I can get in there. There's basically a bunch more loot in there, and one electric furnace that's going as well. And there's the battery for it. Let's see, is it holding the charge? No, it is fully drained. But not a huge deal. This space is kind of whatever. We got a bunch of gunpowder. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I think I got my work cut out for me. I do need to go drive down this vehicle. But thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed seeing my cave base and the industrial 0-watt stuff. Pretty interesting, I think. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future, or, you know, any feedback. I might listen to your feedback if I think it's good feedback. So feel free to leave a comment, and I appreciate all you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Matt out. Peace.